This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We are here at Sage Affordable Tutoring. Since 2010, they've been providing quality tutoring, affordable assistance, and test prepping in all areas here for the folks of Colorado Springs. I'm here with the owner and director, Philip. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. Share with me how you got involved in this industry, as well as how Sage came to be.
Well, I've been tutoring for about 18 years. I actually started in college. It just kind of became a passion of mine. In my university, I saw how I was able to help so many people to obtain their degrees. And whenever my wife and I moved here to Colorado Springs, I just started kind of gradually tutoring people. And it got to the point where there were so many people who kept requiring and asking for my assistance that eventually some of the people I was helping suggested that I should just start my own business and be able to make it more official and be able to get other teachers involved who had the same level of passion and intensity that I had to help see students achieve their goals.
Why don't you share with the viewers out there where you got the name Sage from?
That's a great idea. The biggest thing was when I was growing up. A lot of people don't know this, but I grew up and I was in a program and it was actually called Sage, and it really it just kind of reminded me more of my childhood. It stood for it was student activities and gifted education, but for me, I thought, well, how can I use that same thing that was really important to me that really allowed education become such a central part of me, that I then realized that Sage really itself means wisdom, and I decided it was a wise choice to go with us. And I wanted to create my own acronym to kind of put my own name to it. And I said, well, what do I really want to happen here? And for me, it was students achieving greatness in education. That's really what I want. And that's where I came up with the name. It means wisdom, a wise choice to go with us. And the idea was to get kids to achieve at their highest levels possible.
Great story. Interesting. I mean, quite honestly, from kindergarten through middle school, high school, we take many tests. A lot of times those tests really don't matter on the impact of our future. The tests that you're preparing people here for, they do make a big difference in some of the options we have. Is that right?
Absolutely. One of the things that we take a lot of pride in is our ACT prep and SAT prep to be able to help high school students achieve not only just their highest level to get into college, but often obtain many, many scholarships. Other test prep areas that we focus on are ASVAB for those who are trying to get into the military, and also GRE and GMAT prep for those who are trying to obtain their master's degrees and get entrance into their programs.
How important is it for people to actually prepare for these tests like that compared to let's just going out and trying to wing it?
Well, I mean, it can make the difference. For example, our AP test that we focus on as well, that can be the difference between obtaining college credit if you get a 5 or not. And so, I mean, that's one area a class that you don't have to take just because you've already earned your college credit. For people trying to get into the ASVAB, I mean, it could be the difference between barely getting in versus the job that you're really looking for to get certain levels of promotions. And I mean, so those are the kind of things that we really look at is you can't obtain the same level of results. I talk about the scholarships, for example. You can't get the same level of results in the stock market. You come and pay a small price with us and then turn around and get yourself a $50,000, $56,000 scholarship. I can't see anything else that you can do that fast and be able to obtain those kind of results.
That is amazing. Not only that, but you're actually saving time, I would imagine, because, I mean, if a person went out and actually tried to wing the test, come back and realize, wait a minute, I just paid for that, I didn't get the results I was looking for, now I'm basically starting again. Do you recommend basically getting preparation on the front end and that's overall the best?
Absolutely. I mean, because it's kind of like just shooting in the dark. I mean, if you go in and you're just kind of hoping for the best, there are some kids who are very fortunate and they hit what they're looking for right off the bat. But most kids go in and find out that it is totally different than even their classroom environment that they're used to. The test is designed to challenge the student and make them think. And if you're not ready for that, it's going to surprise you in more ways than one.
Interesting. You touched on earlier the ACT, the SAT. Are these areas that your instructors are very qualified to get the best success for?
Absolutely. In fact, many of our teachers have obtained either master's degrees in their areas, their focus. We're either national board certified like myself. or even award-winning teachers that have won from all the way from local up to the national level. So I mean, that's a description of majority of our teachers that work with us.
Your teachers you have must be a wide variety of instructors, really, because we're talking about a lot of different tests here, the PSAT, the GRE, the ASVAB, like you'd mentioned. Obviously, you have ones that specialize in different types of testing.
Absolutely. We have some that focus on, for example, just AP chemistry. And they specialize in things like that. And we have others that can specialize in Spanish and German and those kind of areas. But then we have a group of instructors who, under kind of just my guidance, have really developed to become quality instructors of all areas of a particular test, whether it be the PSAT or the ACT, those kind of things, to really help them so that because we want to really develop a relationship with the people we work with, to understand that it's more than them just coming to see us. We want to be with them every step of the way to help them achieve.
Excellent. Speaking of them coming to see you, do the classes take place here at your facility? And are we talking about classrooms, or do you have greater success with smaller groups?
We definitely have greater success with smaller groups and individual. We try not to get too large. Our largest group is about 5. Because we want to make sure that we provide them with as much one-on-one help as we possibly can. We want to make sure it's individualized, and if it gets beyond that, you can't really give them the individual attention that they really deserve. They're paying good money and they want good results. In addition to coming here to the office, we actually put a lot of time to actually go to people's houses. We're mobile, so we can actually go to to different locations. It's whatever makes the client feel comfortable, and we can manage to fit into our schedule.
So a real customized approach you're taking here with the students. Nice, because if you want a small group, 4 or 5 people, you're working alongside. That also keeps the rates a lot lower than a one-on-one, but yet the quality is still there.
Absolutely. A lot of times people, kind of, especially for test prep, they wonder if they should really get the one-on-one service, but you'd be really surprised at how much getting into a small group helps kids actually begin to support each other, be able to get to bounce ideas off of each other, and they see things differently when they're working with their peers than they do with just being told what to do. And we see some of our greatest results actually with the small groups, versus just the one-on-one.
Obviously, these tests make a big difference when it comes to admission to the colleges. But like you mentioned before, scholarships. Is this something that basically the organizations are out there looking at?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the key things to getting a scholarship is to, having a good GPA, having a high test score. In fact, I mean, a lot of times the high test score can even mean more than the GPA, because you never really know where that student went to high school and what their curriculum is really, how it's really set up. It's always, set up to go along with the, Colorado Department of Education. But the reality is instruction is different at every high school. The ultimate difference where you get to really compare yourself with all the other students across the nation are standardized tests like the ACT and SAT.
Regardless of what somebody needs, be it for admission or possibly a scholarship, you're really able to assess what their needs are and basically find a solution just for them.
Absolutely. We try to put forth our best effort to help them understand, where they want to go to college, what kind of level do they really need to achieve to get into those places. And then once we can get them in, the idea is, okay, where's the next step to be able to help them obtain some kind of funding, whether it be, a scholarship or grant. Right. And, to the point where we even have tried to develop our own scholarship now to be able to help out students, because that's something that's important to us, and especially important to me as the owner and the director of it. Education is something that matters.
Wonderful. So something that started out with you individually, you had a passion for it. You now have really collectively over 200 years of experience with different teachers and instructors. Obviously, the success is determined by the quality of those instructors. Are many of those certified?
Yes. As a matter of fact, all of them are certified except for 2. There's 2, but one of them used to have her certification. She's been teaching now for almost 60 years alone. And she does a lot of our music. But in terms of the rest of our teachers are all certified, licensed, and either retired teachers or they're currently teaching now in our local community within various high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, first of all, you can take a look at the different prep tests that they're able to offer you, many different areas. They've also offering tutoring there as well. It's as simple as just clicking there and requesting a tutor. You can take a look at some of the classes they offer there. They've got multiple classes throughout the week, and if you don't find something here at the facility that'll work for you, they can also send somebody out to a location of your choosing also. You mentioned, obviously, these scores really do make a difference in the options we're having in our life, but it also depends on your GPA as well. So we're talking about throughout the years making sure you're successful in your academics as well. So you do offer tutoring in different areas. Share with me some of those areas.
Well, we offer just about almost every area you can think of. I mean, we have science, social studies, various languages. We have math, of course. That's probably one of our most common areas that people seek us out for. The reading and writing, we have everything from kindergarten all the way up through college, whether you're talking about chemistry, organic chemistry, physics, biology, zoology, French. I mean, you just on and on and on.
Wow, it's amazing. I mean, I know for a person who's been in school before, I mean, you can be going along, doing great, and then all of a sudden you find maybe a subject that you start struggling with. It really seems to be a big problem, but really you look at it as a temporary problem, and you're there to find the solution.
Absolutely. I mean, our goal is to try to make it as far as the need for us, to try to make it as short as we possibly can. Some clients, though, get to the point where they enjoy the results that they get with us so much that they come back year after year. I mean, we have some kids who are now juniors and seniors in high school that we've been working with since 6th, 7th grade.
That is amazing. That's wonderful. It amazes me that something as important as our education is something that we need to do our due diligence out here as well. The consumers really have to find out who they're letting in the home, who they're letting in your mind, really. I mean, it's as simple as a search on Craigslist, and many of the time these folks out there, they're not certified, or is that something that's real important to you as far as background checks and that type of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, background checks, and that's the reason why we try to make sure we focus on just certified teachers as much as we possibly can, because we want to make sure that parents know that it's important that kids are safe. It's important that we provide environments that parents know that kids are going to be able to be with someone who's a professional and someone who has the proper experience and the certifications to take them to the next level. Unfortunately, just about anybody can start a tutoring company. There's really no rules against it. And that's a primary concern for us, is that we want to make sure that parents know that we are educators that are in the schools, and that it's important for us, just as it is for our own kids to be safe, that their kids need to be safe as well.
If you have a parent out there and they're looking at college for their student, or maybe they've got a student that's struggling, how early should they start this process for the testing? Is this something you wait until your senior, junior years? When do you recommend?
Probably the best recommendation, depending on the student, is usually around your sophomore year. The good time to really get started generally is right at the end of their sophomore year. They can really start to prepare, unless that they are really at the level. We've helped some people reach the level of National Merit Scholarship and those kind of things with the PSAT. And for those particular students, you really want to start during your sophomore year, because the ultimate test that really matters for those kids comes up in October of their junior year. If you wait until your junior and senior year, there's so many of those opportunities will pass you up.
Interesting. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. Once again, you're going to see their website. They've got their contact information right there. Quite honestly, they definitely probably have an instructor that is suited personally for the needs that you require, be it admission into the college of your choice or possibly a scholarship. Got that taken care of, as well as tutoring for anything you may be struggling in. This is a company that began back in 2010. One owner deciding to basically share his passion with the folks of Colorado Springs. They now have received many awards, not only their educators out there, but actually the Best of Colorado Springs in 2012, I believe. And that's definitely worth looking at. Check it out, do your due diligence, make sure you know who basically is teaching yourself as well as your children. That is Sage Affordable Tutoring, students achieving greatness in education at affordable prices. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.